Dee's voice droning on.
I know. You imagine I have to listen to it every day, all the time.
You might want to not carry on with that noise. People will be tuning in.
For all reasons. That was a drone, not a moan.
Well, that's not like you.
I'm not. Well, yeah, exactly. Called us old 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not.
You
I did not.
You did.
I just said something was before my time.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Naked Coach Collective. We've got myself, we've got B, and we've got D. And we're going to be talking today about what we've got going on in our coaching businesses at the moment. We've got some exciting projects on the go. So, D, you're up first. Why don't you kick off with what you've got going on at the moment? You've been on quite a bit of a journey these past couple of weeks with what you've been doing and some changes. So why don't you let people know what you do?
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Hi, listeners and viewers. I think I'd like to start where my journey begins, just really briefly, because that is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now. So basically, about 6 months ago, I was a few weeks away from my 54th birthday, and something just snapped inside my head. So what happened was, it's been a bit of a tough year. I've got elderly parents, and there are hereditary things like diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure issues, and sort of things that I knew are hereditary, have been around for years, and I've been sticking my head in the sand and just ignoring. So it's kind of, I've just been getting on in life, eating what I want. And so the past year I had put on a bit of weight, and this was the 30th of November, 2023. And I just thought, for some reason, I remember the date of a few weeks away from 54. And I took a long, hard look at myself. And I realized that I was waking up in the morning with aches and pains. I was struggling to sleep. I wasn't thinking about these family issues that were there. And during the course of last year, I've seen the effects on people I love. So it kind of brought it home to me that this is something I need to deal with. And when you get something in your head, you can't get it out. So I'm thinking, okay, diabetes is horrible, heart disease, all these factors could happen to me, and are more likely to happen to me than the next person because I've got the family history of it. And I'm not even thinking about it or doing anything about it, or even attempting to minimize the impact. So I was tired a lot. I was achy. I was overweight, and I was suddenly aware that I needed to deal with this issue. And then what happened was I had that light bulb moment, did lots of thinking, soul searching, and I realized that I needed to really, really dig deep and figure out once and for all what it was that I really wanted, because my behavior was not aligned with what I thought I wanted. I wanted to be fit, I wanted to be healthy, I wanted to live a long, healthy life and all these things, but my behavior, my lack of action, my eating badly was not behavior that said I wanted that. So I had to start really thinking about what I really wanted. And what it came down to was it was the health. It was the health. Whereas in the past, and sorry, I'm going a bit round in circles because it just makes me so emotional when I think about all the things, all the times that I've tried to lose weight, all the stones and pounds that I've lost in the past, only to put them back on because I'm following conventional diets and cutting out things that is just not maintainable. And now I feel that I've made these changes, which are something that I can sustain, which do make me feel good. I've lost 2 stone since the 30th of November 2023, so in 6 months, which is slow going. But for me, it just felt right because I wasn't trying to lose weight. I was just trying to be healthy. And so that was a byproduct of it. And so my energy levels are through the roof. I don't wake up with aches and pains. I can wake up and just get going. I'm not super tired at any point, and I sleep well. So all these benefits of just starting to look after myself because my head was saying to me, this is what you need to do, and this is why you want to do it. Does that make sense, or am I waffling?
That makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Waffling might be a strong word.
I feel like
I'm joking,
So
obviously.
what happened? Right. So I've made all these changes. I've changed my diet completely. I've changed my activity levels completely. I've changed my mindset way completely about all of it, and I'm just so much more contented and hopeful for the future. Now, so where that relates to my coaching practice is that I realize that it's something I want to share. So women my age, 40s, 50s plus 60s, we all have the same issues, right? We all have the same issues as getting older, and our bodies are not doing the same things they used to do, and we're trying to deal with them with band-aids, or the latest diet fad, or the latest health eating fad, or all these things. And as we get older, all that changes. So I just wanted to share this journey I've been on with people who may be interested, like probably women who may be interested. So I've started to work on a program which is going to be rolled out in the first week of July. Oh my God, that's the first time I've said it. It better be ready.
Well, people know that.
Yeah, so my group program is going to be rolling out on the first week of July, and there will be invites and things to go out for that as and when the time comes. But before then, I have produced an action guide, which is called the 3-step jumpstart to transform your life. And basically, it's a bit of a Q&A where I started. So it's your jump start, the first place where I started. I took an analysis of myself. I asked myself questions. I dug deep and I figured out where I was coming from. So then I went on to so I wrote. So I've put that in my action guide. So something that my people who would like to do it can follow. Then step 2 is a visualization, and I've recorded a really relaxing visualization to accompany it, so you can download the action guide and click on it, and you will take yourself somewhere nice for 15 minutes and just relax and enjoy and visualize what your future could be. And then finally, the step 3 is really thinking about how you can get from where you are now to that vision that you've just so beautifully created. So that's my first offering, if you like, from this whole transformational journey that I've been on myself. And it's available now. You can
Give the applause, Dave. Give the applause.
Okay.
It goes on for like 40 seconds, so I'll stop
That's
it there.
it. Wow. Okay. I don't think we need 40 seconds. Anyway, you can download it now. So my website, darshanaqureshi.com, it's on the page that says 3-step jumpstart, believe it or not. So you just click on there and I will send it straight through to you. You can there's links all over my socials. There'll be links on these episodes. So or get in touch, and see if it's something that you might like to do for yourself. I mean, I will always be available to guide, and I look forward to where this is going to take me. I'm actually really excited about this because I just think it's possible. You know, everything is possible when you start up here. So that's where I know in my 53 years before that point, I was lacking. So, you know, that little change makes a huge difference. So I would love to share that. And thank you very much.
Nice. Well done, Dee. And just thinking about, you said you kind of took stock of where you're at and started working on your own mindset and all that kind of things. What kind of things were you doing in that process?
So I've never really been one to just stop and contemplate and relax or meditate, you could call it, you know, and I've tried to do classic meditation things, and it's not really worked for me. But I asked myself those, you know, those coaching questions that are really hard to answer. Well, what is it you really want, and why do you really want it? Why do you really want it? And now, all my life, I've been, well, I want to be slim because it looks good, and I want to be healthy for my daughter, and you know, I've realized that everything that I'd thought I wanted, and the reason I wanted it was because of other people. And so, and it's really hard, especially, I mean, as a woman, but I'm, you know, I just say that generically, but as a woman, to just think selfishly for yourself for 5 minutes and think, well, what the heck do I really want, and why do I want that, and what will it do for me? I mean, what a question. I don't think no woman has ever asked, you know, especially, you know, if they've got people to look after, that what, you know, what's in it for me? Why do I want it for me? And I asked myself those questions, and I realized, and as we touched on this, B, in the last, was it the last one as well, I think, where, you know, you have to put your own oxygen mask on first.
Yeah.
So it would kind of all, you're doing it for yourself, but actually you're doing it for everyone else as well, because you've been in a better place to serve them and to help them and to be, you know, sort of whatever you are to anyone is helping them as well, but you first. So, and it's a hard thing to actually think, okay, yeah, I do have to think about myself. Yes, I do have to. I have to live in this body. I have to live in this mind. I have to make them the best that I can be.
Nice. B, any questions?
I think you covered it. Sorry.
Well done, Dee. It's nice to,
Thank you very much.
can I just say, it's actually nice to see you so enthusiastic about it as well.
Yes. Yeah.
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 I think that's always a good thing, isn't it?
Feel,
You can tell,
yeah, I definitely feel
as you're
so
talking about
glad
it, your
that
spirits are so much higher than when you were talking about previous programs that you were offering.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
this one
well
is from
done.
the heart. I mean, it is a bit of a passion project, you know, it's from the heart, and I just want to be able to support anybody who wants to make positive changes.
All right, time. I'm joking.
See you later. Right, I'm off for a cup of tea now.
You've had your 12 minutes. Shut up.
I don't need to hang around, right? I don't need to stay for the rest of this, right?
Thank you, Dee. My passive aggressive way of moving on to the next one. So B, tell us what you've got going on.
Well, how can I say this? So, I started out coaching as a body confidence coach. I've had a bit of an up and down journey with where I've tried to change things or do things slightly different. And I think the one thing, having recently been on a business retreat in France with a very high quality coach, is that I've realized that actually I have to do what I'm passionate about. So rather than trying to change things, I have to work with what I know I can achieve. And that is transformed into what I am now known as, which is I'm known as a self-worth coach. And that is absolutely been my journey, and what happened for me. So my journey is a 25-year in the making journey, let's say. So spending pretty much anywhere from my young teens to my late 30s with self-hate. Simple and straightforward as that. Didn't like anything about myself, didn't like my body, didn't like me as a person, didn't like my life, moaned, whinged. And when I weren't moaning and whinging, I was life and soul of the party and, all of those things. And I didn't have the brain moment that Dee had, unfortunately. I actually had a real life experience where I'd found the husband that I wanted, and within a few years of being married, I nearly lost him overnight. And that was the first thing that really made me start thinking, geez, if I died now, what would my life have been? Have I lived my best life? No, I have not. And obviously it was pretty obvious to me that I had to take control, basically, that I couldn't just keep whinging and moaning about things. And I did start to take control, and at the same time, not long after, when hubby was in recovery, I also then found out I was in perimenopause. Bit of a shock. I was only 38, so felt a little bit weird. Had to deal with a lot of the fallout that comes with that as well. And then my journey just began, and it was a journey in the making over quite a few years, just slowly, surely, one piece at a time, trying this, having a look at that, researching this, and got to a point where I was, I sort of took myself from self-hate. I went through the self-doubt process, really got some self-belief. And to the point where I am today, where I absolutely do have a very high level of self-worth for myself, and who I am, and how I show up in the world. But also then got propelled into coaching, which is not something I'd ever thought about. I didn't really know anything about it. If I'm being honest, I knew about therapy, I've been there, but I'd never actually done coaching. And my passing of my sister 3 years ago, from a lady who was on a diet from 8 years old, died at the age of 54, still on a diet the week before she died, never ever finding a high level of self-worth, and realizing that so many women live like this, and it's not a life. You're living a half life, you're living someone else's life, you're living a life that you really don't like. You just pretend you do. And I realized I needed to help these people, and it would be because of my sister, but it would also be because of me. And I'd actually be helping women to actually start living a life that they actually like. It is actually about them. Yeah, being a bit selfish, like Dee said, realizing that actually you are so worth it, because how you show up in the world is how you're going to teach your children to show up in the world. It's going to how you teach the rest of your family to show up in the world. And so I've done lots of training. I've done lots of different training. I became an accredited coach, and I have now really sort of propelled myself into what I know I do best, and that is speaking. And I've started talking about, initially at the moment, I'm talking about the things that you say to yourself, the things that you do. So one out today was, I'll do it when I'm slimmer. How many of you women out there have said that? I know you have. And it's like putting your life on hold until you're something else, when you could just be living a fabulous life exactly as you are. And that is what my one-to-one coaching offers. Take you from self-hate to self-doubt to self-belief to a high level of self-worth. And it's a 12-week coaching program with me, one-to-one, because this stuff is personal. And it's quite hard to do anything like this in a group. It's quite hard to be really, really honest with yourself in a group. And I push hard. I'm a tough coach, and I'll make you do things that make you feel uncomfortable. But ultimately, I know you'll thank me for it in the end. I've helped women, several women already, and it feels fabulous. From the perspective is, I watch you grow, I watch you become the fabulous woman that you actually are. You just don't realize it. And you know what? From there on, your self-worth gets higher. You start to really accept and love who you are. And it's really, really important that you do that, because if my sister's passing has taught me anything, it's taught me that time isn't given. We only have now. Tomorrow isn't a given. So do you know what? If you're thinking, I'm not happy with my life, I'm not happy with myself, and you're trying to find all these quick fixes, like Dee said, you're trying to find the next thing that's going to make you feel better yourself. You're trying to find the next thing that's going to make you slimmer. You're wasting your time. None of that will work until you gain a high level of self-worth and you actually believe that you're worth it. Then you'll start realizing that you can actually treat your body better, you can actually be healthier, you can actually do more, and you can actually go after whatever it is you want to do, but only by owning your self-worth and knowing that you are worth fighting for. And that's what I offer. And yeah, TikTok, follow me. I'm talking every day on there. Hopefully I'll resonate with you. It won't be everything that I talk about that resonates with you, but there'll be a lot. And I'm also on all the other channels, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. And I do have my own website. It's www.belindawarburton.com. And, I offer a one-to-one chat. It's an hour. You'll get off that chat feeling that you absolutely do want to change. And that's what I offer.
Beautiful.
We'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. Feel the love of that fake crowd.
Oh, love it.
I don't
No
have any
questions?
questions, B. I don't.
No?
I don't.
Well, I have a comment.
Yes.
I have a comment.
Oh.
I just loved the way that your animation grew from the beginning to the end of that. Because at the beginning I was thinking, oh, but Belinda's feeling busy, a little bit low, and I don't know, you've had a busy day. So I'm thinking, but by the end, whoa, you were flying, and I just think it was spectacular to see. So if you're not watching, guys, jump on YouTube and you will see, if Belinda can do this to herself in like 6 minutes or whatever it was, just think what she can do in 12 sessions. Bloody hell, right? So yeah, I love it.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you. And
That's
then
very well said and nice, D. You should go into coaching or something. Would have motivated people.
But the other thing I will just say is that what I'm currently working in at the moment is motivational speaking. So if there's groups of ladies out there who would love to have me come and speak and motivate and help you, if you're really, help you wherever you are on that journey, whether you're at self-hate, self-doubt, self-belief, or you feel that you've got a high level of self-worth, but you'd love some more motivation and some ideas and things and a little bit of fun, of course, because I love having fun, then, just get in contact with me. I'd love to come and, and help any ladies, any groups of ladies that just need a little boost.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Well done, B. Well done.
Well, Ian, I think it's over to you, my darling.
It is. Thank you.
And you've got so much going on.
Save the best till last.
Let's put the timer
course.
on it. Let's put the timer on, Ian.
My
Come on.
timer on has been really
10 minutes. You got 10 minutes. Go.
You've actually only got 4 minutes left. So
4 minutes left. It's because I let you run over, D, with your waffling at the start.
I know, I was waffling at the start. Apologies. Cut it out. Cut it out.
You do know I'm only joking. I'm not really. Yeah, I have launched a online course. It is for aspiring entrepreneurs. people who are stuck in the 9 to 5, but they know there is something more for them out there. They don't know what it is, but they just know that there is something that is pulling them to do something different from what they're doing, and maybe feel like something's missing in their life, and they just want to get out and do something for themselves, and that's starting their own business to live a life on their own terms. But where I come in is, so as soon as you start searching online how to start an online business, you just get absolutely flooded with a shit ton of noise and just a load of crap. I say it's a load of crap. There are very good strategies out there for people to use, but there is so much of it, and everyone's saying, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do social media ads, you got to become an influencer, set up a YouTube channel, set up Facebook, Instagram. Why don't you create online courses like I just have? Why don't you get ghostwriters to write ebooks for you so you can sell them on Amazon and then get people to convert it into Audible? And there's so much stuff out there. It just gets overwhelming and confusing. And I know this because this is exactly where I was a couple of years ago. So when obviously COVID hit, I went from one business to another, to another, to another, to another, to another. None of them working. And it's because there was something missing in what I was doing. I was just following these gurus and their strategies, but nothing stuck. There was always a reason why nothing ever picked up. And it was the same reason, but I just didn't know it at the time. And that reason is because I didn't have my own internal foundation set. So I didn't know what my why was when I'm saying my internal foundation. I didn't know what my why was. And what tends to happen is these gurus that are out there, they are talking about all these different strategies and everything that's propelled them to their success. And that's all well and good, but what they're not telling you about is the underlying foundation that they already had before they implemented those strategies, and that was their why. So they never go through that in the coaching. They never tell you about that particular strategy. And so that's what was missing for me. That's where I help people. I help them essentially build an impossible dream. We then look at their core values. We then figure out what their purpose is using a process called Ikigai. And then we build a vision around all of that that leads to their own pathway to success. And funnily enough, that's what it's called. Follow your own pathway to success. And it's about taking what I do in my one-to-one coaching, and bringing it live to people, but at a lower price point. So they're obviously not getting the one-to-one with me. So it's like video course online, but it's that first step. So whenever anyone's searching how to set up an online business, this is that very first step that no one really talks about. And so, yeah, that's it. So that's just launched.
I will just pick up on a couple of things. So, if that's okay, Ian. The first thing is, no, the first thing I'll say is that I have been coached by Ian now for well over a year, I think, Ian. And the one thing
Has it been a year?
Yeah, I think it's been a year. Yeah, I know.
God.
It feels like forever, doesn't it?
No,
and
that's not what I was
would
thinking.
say is he's really, yeah, we were. He's really good at seeing your blind spots and just throwing in those questions that you just don't ask yourself because you don't. I mean, even as a coach, right? I'm a coach and I ask like certain personal people, but you know, when it came to sort of the business side of things, actually asking them myself was, you know, not something I did. And Ian has pushed me every step of the way to, even through the ups and the downs. And I think what Ian's put out there has been long in the making. So it's really well researched, is what I would say. I think you've really tried to look at what the gap in the market was from your perspective when you started out doing it yourself. And I think what I was going to say is it would be really interesting to, I think, tell the listeners, like, how it helped you, how you got to where you are now, what it did for you, to and how you did it to actually be able to produce this course.
Yeah, so best way I can describe it is, so when I was having a coaching session, so after I became a qualified coach, and I started this journey, sorry, before I became a qualified coach and I started this journey, I got myself a coach. This was partway through the accreditation, and we'd had that one session where it just blew my mind. I've mentioned it enough times now. No one else. We don't need to make your head any bigger. So I kind of got my own coach as well off the back of that, because I thought this is really powerful. And they helped me figure out what my why was. So what my kind of core values were, what my we didn't talk about like an impossible dream or anything like that, but they helped me put together a vision. And the best way I can describe this is, over a decade ago now, when I was sat with my friends, and I talk about this in the episode that's literally just come out today. I was living with a couple of friends in an apartment, and we just got out this huge map of the world, lay it on the floor, and we said, right, where are we going? And then this travel bug just kind of picked up from there. But it was like it's hard to describe. It was like a physical pull in the stomach that was, you absolutely have to do this. No matter who has to fall by the wayside, it's something you absolutely have to do. And so there's so much sacrifice that goes into that from there. And it's kind of the same once I got that vision with my coach and talking about it. And then it was like, right, okay, I've gone through Coach Flicks. I've watched all those foundation level coaching courses that they've got on there. And I was like, this is really, really, really powerful stuff. And I really want to help other people who are where I was before I found coaching. So I was trying blogging. I was trying to set up a travel thing for bloody Milo going around the country. Milo's my dog, by the way. So I was trying loads of different things and nothing was working. And then when we got this and we got the coaching as well, and it was that pull again. It was just that light bulb and that pull, and that's what I want to help people have. But I want to challenge them first before we start to build that vision and figure out what the purpose is. I want to challenge them first to, if you could not fail, what would you do? I want to know what that impossible dream is. There are absolutely no limits. I'm always saying to them, inspire me with what your impossible dream is. Inspire me. Go on. And from there, we then build out the core values as well. So we figure out what the core values behind that impossible dream is. Because everyone will say, oh, I just want to quit my 9-to-5 and live a life of freedom on my terms. And it's like, well, what does that mean to you? What will that get you? And all that kind of stuff. So we then pull back into the core values, and then we figure out what the impossible dream is, the purpose is around those two elements, and then encompass everything with that vision. And I just want to help people have the same feeling I have and direction, because I know that this will not fail now. I am on my pathway, and there's absolutely no way that it is not going to work. It will work. There's just no two ways about it. It's going to work. And I want people to have that mindset through the power of figuring out what your impossible dream is, your core values, the purpose and the vision. And it's kind of what I've done is, as I've been going through, I know I'm short for time now. Sorry, Dee, I can see you looking at me like you're about to.
No. You just need to give yourself a round of applause. A round of applause soon. Don't miss yourself out.
Yeah, let me get the button ready. There we go. I've just based it off conversations with clients. So part of it, B, was based off some of our conversations. Part of it's D, a couple of our conversations, but we've obviously not had as much as I have with B. And but other conversations with other clients as well. I wanted to condense something down at a lower price point for people who wouldn't be able to afford one-to-one coaching to just get in the game.
I don't mind being
Stop it. It's embarrassing. Stop. Sorry,
I don't mind being a mute. I'm assuming I'm going to get a percentage of the profits.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Absolutely joking.
I haven't had my royalties from that breakthrough moment yet, so get in line.
Yeah, exactly, Dee.
I tell you what, you can take the course for free. I'll let you take the course for free.
The great thing, though, just the fact that the great thing I think out of all of this, you know, what we're all working on at the moment and what we've all come through is it's all been that we've done it together. It's all been the support. And Ian, you are absolutely unwavering. You have never wavered on what you were going to do and how you were going to do it. Whereas maybe it's a woman thing, or maybe it's just us. Dee and I have sort of had a slightly different route in. But actually, you know, I think what for me has come out of this is the fact that, you know, we as a group have steered, all of us have helped each other in the right, to get into the right direction, to find our path and what it is that we want to do, even though we're all very totally different. So
just to catch you on something there, B, I wouldn't say it's a woman thing, because some of the clients I've been talking to have had similar journeys to yourselves. So I wouldn't label it as a woman thing. I feel like it's just a broad people thing.
But what it is, you know what it is? It's a journey towards finding your passion, which I didn't really understand until, you know, now. It's your clients, you know, who are on that journey, is because they haven't found that thing that you found when you were looking at your map, or when you were talking about coaching. You know, they haven't found it yet, and you won't know until you find it, because if you did, you'd be there already, right? So
exactly.
You have to go through the process. And you know, you and I and Sarah, we have to go through the process, because you can't get there, you can't jump there.
No, because
if you do, if you know, that would be a different journey, and you would already be doing that from dot, you know. So I'm grateful for all of my experiences, and I haven't, you know, I take everything with me into whatever I do next.
And that's why some people say to me, oh, it must have been awful living your life like that for so long. Well, at the time it didn't feel awful, it just felt very depressing, I think is the word I would use. But actually, if I look back now, without that experience and without that journey and without coming out the other side and the journey I've got now, I wouldn't be sitting here now. I wouldn't be able to help other women change and feel different and, you know, build a really high level of self-worth. And so, you know, actually, there's a large part of me that's like, that happened to me for a reason. And that reason has become blatantly obvious recently.
Nice.
And thank you and gratitude, you know, for those
Absolutely.
experiences. Yeah.
Is that it? Have we wrapped up?
I think so. Yes.
Should
we've done a bit,
should we
haven't
play
we?
that funky music?
Should we
White
do
boy.
be whatever?
Oh. Yeah.
Shouldn't we be closing it off with the usual?
Well,
We should. You're absolutely right. What I'm going to do is because, you know, I like to play around. I'm going to play the outro music, but at a low level. And we say the be there, blah, blah, blah. And I'll turn it up and I don't have the music on my laptop to put it on. Forget it. No, ignore me. I'll add it in the edit. Forget it. What a waste. Absolute waste of time.
Ian, well done. Well done.
I've
Bravo.
forgotten our sign off. Be there.
Be there.
Be
Bear,
bare.
that's it. That's
be
the bear I
naked.
keep forgetting. Be naked. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah.
Right, we're
Okay.
done then. There it is.
Yeah. Be bare.
No, I think we can do better than that.
Oh, right. Okay.
B, you go first. B, you go first, and then you, D. And I'll
Okay.
say the naughty word.
All right, then go
Are
on.
you going to sign us off? This is another episode. Ian, go do your bit.
What are you talking about?
Christ.
Oh my
I'll do
god.
it. Okay, that wraps up another episode for the Naked Coach. Seriously,
Um,
You'd think as a professional project manager who hosts meetings, I'd be used to hosting a meeting.
Oh, it's fine.
Yep. Right,
Right,
Ian,
be
go
quick,
for
let's
it.
go.
Go on, Ian, go for it. Finish it
And
off.
that wraps up another episode of this shambles.
Oh, my
And
dear.
remember, folks,
Be there.
Be
Jesus
bare.
Christ, be
Oh, my
naked.
goodness.
We are so bad at this. So I wonder anyone who listens to this nonsense.
Wait, talk about yourself.
I am.
I actually think it's the host tonight, don't you, Dee? I think the host had a problem
I think
tonight.
it is. I think it is.